Looks like we get to start this video off with a little bit of fun. The Brush Titan Thurset Elm for True Apvit has come. A great feathered antlion larva. It has a round shell and a bloated body. Its gray feathers are long and sparse. Beware of its webs. So there it is, up there. Thurset Autumnlurths, the Hill of Worries. He's got a whole bunch of different body parts for us to chop off. A whole bunch of different legs and crap like that, it looks like. The fortress is sealed off, however. Wait, does it have wings? I don't think it did. It does. No, it doesn't have wings, so it's thankfully trapped out there. It is 2nd Moonstone, 1081 early winter. And you know what? I guess I can have the military stand down. They've all been just standing there for so long, chit-chatting and guarding the bridge. I kind of forgot about them. Let's see. There's not a whole lot going on right now. Let's see. Master Ozra, he's going to individual combat drill. Our trader, we do have a trader here. And you know what, let's put all this stuff up for sale. Lead toys, an entire finished good bin, filled with earrings and scepters it looks like. Another finished goods bin, slate amulets, a slate figurine of dwarfs, a superior quality slate figurine of dwarfs. It's a designed image of 2 dwarfs in slate by Tilla the Fourth. Still practicing on your skills there. A marble bracelet, a daysite figurine of more dwarfs. It's a well-designed image of dwarfs. And you know, we should have a whole lot of these bins. I'm gonna give them most of the bins just to get this stuff out of our fortress. I don't need it floating around. I don't need the dwarfs having to worry about it. Look at all this profit they're going to be making. I don't think I could probably buy their whole trade caravan that they brought. In fact, we might try to do that, maybe. All the armor and stuff we will be buying, I hope. The food, cotton fiber amulet. A cotton fiber amulet. Seems like it might. There we go. That's it. 16,857 dwarf bucks. We'll buy their black diamonds. And you know what? I'm gonna buy all of this lumber, just so we have it, so I don't have to chop down the beautiful mushrooms growing in the caverns down below. Let's see what else. A red steel pick. We'll buy that. Why not? Let's get a little bit fancy here. Cacao seeds, lobster treated stuff. Yeah, could expand our agricultural industry a bit. A red steel anvil. Are we already at the food? Did they not bring us very much stuff? Cave lobster, turtles, cave fish. Don't tell me this is all they brought is food. Surely not. Silkworm leggings. Ooh, bronze chain leggings. Black steel chain. Red. Huge red steel corkscrew. Don't need it. Boar cheese and a mango wood crutch. Wow. Nish Ishlam. I am kind of disappointed in the mountain homes with this little haul that they brought. It is awful. Buy that silk bag. Buy this. Buy that. Buy these bolts. Cave lobster treated gloves or something. I think that's it. You know what? Screw it. Just throw everything on there. Even that huge red steel corkscrew. We'll send them back, with all of our goods, and we'll take all of theirs. There we go. Surely you won't turn down this much profit. We trade it away. And, you know what, let's offer all of this stuff up as well. We're just going to give it to them, not actually trade it to them. Give it to them as an offering of good faith. Man, how many pages of this are there? Thousands of earrings, bracelets, amulets. Like 2 or 3 years of hard dwarf labor, chipping away at the stones. There we go. 3,000 dwarf bucks of offerings? Oh, what? What can I not offer them? I bet you it's that white thing up here. This. There we go. Why can I not offer the cotton fiber amulet? It's a cotton fiber amulet encircled with bands of well-crafted aspen. It is made from cotton fiber cloth. The thread is midnight blue with blue shroom dye. This object is adorned with hanging rings of cork tree. And they don't much care for it. They don't like cotton stuff, I guess. It's not worth offering to them. They only want cold hard stone to be traded to them. So there you go. I will see that our leader gets this offering. The king will be most pleased with what you've offered this year, Shovecopper. So we start off the year here, this video, apparently with a wonderful forgotten beast who's going to roam around out there. We'll probably have to fight him when the traders leave. Someone in the comments did say that the traders will go through the caverns and leave if I have a way for them to get off the map. I may end up doing that. Or we may just put the bridge down and charge across and slay this bastard. The big letter I. Really just depends if the werewolves arrive or not. It is 14th Moonstone, early winter, and the merchants are going to be leaving soon. Let's see, we did have one dwarf who lost a name. I thought. We got a Strayneth caretaker. Here we go. Shatari, you got a kill. Fresh into the military squad, you managed to kill Ongol Vile Ropes, the Bargist. I'm not sure when that happened, but congratulations on drawing your first blood. I'll give you your name back here. I think that you're the third still. And you know what? Let's get a closer look at you, actually. Relationships, you worship Ugash and Arist, and your passing acquaintance with Variax, who is still wounded and holed up in the hospital. Someday maybe he'll recover. You're a casual worshipper of Ugash, the Gem of Echoing, and a worshipper of Arist Roasted Whipped, the Matched Conqueror. You're an enemy of the Spiteful Torments, and you're 62 years old. You're very slow to heal, so hopefully you don't get wounded. You've boundless creative imagination and an unbreakable will, and you're an obsidian dwarf. We may have to get you into trade skills at some point, and put that creativity to good use. Let's see, let's check the rest of the caverns here real quick before we let the merchants go. Oh, look at that, a whole bunch of Dralta on top of the wall. This little trick here where you sail off the wall and the creatures spawn on top, I guess it's also a good way to train your archers. I could send an archer squad over here and they'll just unload their arrows at the Dralta. Let's see, we got Dralta on top of that wall over there. People are sparring. Glenn and Hippoman are sparring. Hippoman is still pleased with himself for ripping that brain out of the forgotten beast. No, there was Dralta on top of another wall somewhere. This part of the cavern's not sealed off. This is still open. So I'll leave this open. Creatures can path in through here. Oh no! And Variax, you've been stricken by melancholy and went insane. Or sad, at least. Let's see. You were in the hospital, I think. Z-Hall, you're unconscious. Your legs are crushed. And Variax is dehydrated, very drowsy, miserable. You finally roll out of bed, rip the dwarven IVs out of your arms, and you begin dragging yourself along the floor. Well, you'll go find your peace now, Monsieur Variax. Whatever you're looking for out there. It obviously wasn't a lifetime in a hospital bed. You'll find your own way out there. So, you know what, I guess we'll come back whenever the merchants pack up and have all their stuff ready to leave, if they can't leave. Otherwise, they're going to path themselves out of the caverns down here, through that little hole I showed you, on that cavern level that's somewhere down in the caverns. It is 17th Moonstone, early winter. Okay, well, it is 13th Opal, 1081 midwinter. I've just set the drawbridge to be pulled. I guess I should probably scramble the military. Just in case. No point in being lazy about it. But we've got a whole new batch of migrants that have arrived over here on the edge of the map. Thankfully, they're fairly close. It will bump us up to 102 dwarves. Not bad. I think they, well, I'm not exactly sure what I'll have them do. I know we don't have nearly enough military squads yet, especially since each squad is only going to hold 5 dwarves. So, as soon as I get these migrants inside and named, we're probably going to double the military here. Whenever I come back, You could probably expect eight total squads, and I'll go through the 4 new squads and let you know who made the cut and who didn't. Come on, dwarfs. Make it inside without any drama, and I will love you forever. Okay, well, we've got all of the migrants that just arrived. They've all been named. I think I've got everyone caught up from my list. And I used the opportunity with the extra dwarfs that we had that arrived, so to name them after the Urists that have joined me in Ultima Online. So we've got, a couple like Urist McShanky, Urist McIonized. Kind of proud of you Urists who followed over there. These are the menu screens, though. I think we're going to have a military squad in this fortress that is nothing but the Urists. We'll find out what they do and where they defend. But we've got the smelters set up in full force. Let's see. This whole 2 rows back here, these are all magma smelters to smelt down the ores. Got 1 glass furnace here. I have magma kennel, a magma forge. Pretty much every little piece of the smelting industry that we might need to process the ores and stuff in Genesis mod. We at least have 1 down here. A magma finishing forge, another one. There's a magma crucible. I'll try to go through some of these workshops before I start using them. Well, once I start using them, and show you guys exactly what they do. A magma blast furnace. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure exactly how to use like the blast furnace or the crucible, but we'll figure it out. It is 23rd Opal, and I say that we set up a military squad. I'm going to set up 1 squad with you guys, maybe more. It's just kind of difficult because I stumble around a whole lot. We've, of course, got the 4 squads here, the Boats of Kissing, the Gilded Flags, the Touches of Mining, and the Walls of Order. They're all pretty elite squads in my opinion. They've been training for a while. They've all seen combat and drawn a little bit of blood. So we'll just press C, create a squad, and this is going to be a complete metal armor squad like all the others. This is the Voices of Creation, and this is going to be the Urists. Let's see. Urist McSneaky, do you have any combat skills? No. Urist McIonized, you don't have any combat skills. Urist McShanky, you don't have any combat skills. I'd like to get this squad. This is going to be all of the Urists that arrived. If any of them have combat skills, they'll lead. Let's see. You releasing now? Most of you guys are already in the squad, or some of you are anyways. Oh, there we go. Urist McUnicorn, you're an adequate hammer dwarf. Urist McHatchet, you don't have anything. And Urist McJsnark, you're an adequate axe dwarf. I think the Voices of Creation will be led by Urist McUnicorn, then an adequate hammer dwarf. And we'll put the other Urists in there now. Jealous-Snark, fall in. McHatchet, get in line. McSneaky, step up. There's McIonized. This will be a bigger sized squad, apparently. McShanky, there you are. Put you in there. So there's 6 Urists there. Let's not leave anybody out. We'll all train together in this squad, and we'll all die together in this squad. I think that is it. And we'll try to, I guess we'll set up their weapons as well. So that's it for them. We'll press E to go to equipment, and let's see. Over here, where's the Voices of Creation at? They're all set up to individual buckler, individual melee. It'll be a full melee squad. I don't really want a full melee squad yet, so we'll go over here. I'm going to remove the melee and remove the buckler from Urist McIonized. I'll press W to pull up the weapon menu and just choose crossbow from this, and blam. Now in his position uniform, position 5 in this squad, which is where he'll stay until he dies, will be a metal armorer with crossbow. We'll press F to go to ammo, and we want to press C on the ammo screen to pull up all of the different types of ammo over here. We're going to assign bolts to the squad. You know what? Somebody said, I think Dion said don't mix the ammo. Or, wait. I think maybe the ammo was fine to mix. Just don't mix the weapons. So we'll put bolts there and rock tip bolts. Bolts are for crossbows. The other squads, apparently I do have arrows assigned to them. I'm gonna remove the arrows from all the other squads. Somebody gave me a tip that could screw things up, so let's not risk it. Arrows, there we go. But yep, that's how you assign bolts and stuff to your military squads, so they can train with them. And it'll tell you over here when they've actually grabbed the gear. Like the Boats of Kissing, they've got a whole bunch of dog bone bolts, cow bone bolts. The Touches of Mining, they've got Firelight bolts. They've grabbed all of the rock bolts and stuff. You can tell which ones they've got equipped in their squad. The Walls of Order, they're running around with rock bolts as well. Gilded Flags, you've got dog bone bolts and stuff like that. So that's how you get the that set up. And the Hunters, they've got their own thing. They've all got bolts as well. You know what? Let's also give them. Let's give the Hunters some rock tip bolts. There we go. And that is how you set up a military squad. You can get more in depth if you want. Like let's say we wanted to make this crossbow a metal crossbow. We would highlight it, and where is it? We would press Shift M to bring up the material. And you know what? You can choose if you want him to have a steel, black iron. If you have adamantine crossbows and you want to make sure that gets used, you can set that up. We'll just let him grab any crossbow, anything he wants. There's also other options you can choose. I don't really mess with any of that. And we'll press S to go to schedule. And let's see. We'll copy, of course, from the previous squads that we've set up. And we'll just paste this all the way down their menu. They'll train all 5 at once. And they can sleep in their bedrooms if they want. And all other types of regular stuff. So the Voices of Creation, you are now active. And we need to give them a place to train. I think for now, they can train down here with this squad. We'll just put a T there in this little barracks here, and they'll run down there and start training. And they can sleep in here, store their individual equipment and their squad equipment in there. And there should be enough space in there. If they start leaving stuff laying around, we'll put more cabinets, more chests. That way they're not such sloppy pigs. Other than the military squad and I guess the metal industry that's being set up down there, not a whole lot going on. I'm gonna let the dwarfs actually get back to building things and getting things set up. And the stray puppy, you've been struck down. Trying to get our animal population under control here. May have to slaughter them all. Yeah, and whenever we come back, actually, I will do a little bit more detailing on our metal industry here. That'll be the next thing we cover, I think. Unless something else shows up to draw our attention. Well, looks like it's that time of year again. It is 22nd slate, 1082 mid-spring, and the dwarfs have been diligently working around the fortress. But we're going to scramble everyone to the front of the bridge here, because we've got a whole new batch of migrants that have arrived. You can see we're also slowly shaping out all of that sand from the mountain. It's going to take another couple years, I think. We'll throw the lever, let it be pulled, get that drawbridge down, and let's see. Dwarf Therapist says this will take us up to 116 dwarfs. After this, I'm actually going to save it, and I'm going to lock down the population in the initialization file. Here comes the military. But I'm going to lock it down so that no more migrants arrive. Even if we lose 50 dwarves to a Forgotten Beast, I'm going to have the population cap so low that we will not get any more migrants. I don't want to say that I'm killing the fortress yet, but the dwarves we have now and the population we have now are the dwarves we're going to have for the foreseeable future. Let's see. The new version of Dwarf Fortress did come out, but I'm not migrating over to that anytime soon. In fact, once I'm done with this fortress and this playlist, I'm probably going to put Dwarf Fortress down for a while. Come on, dwarves, streaming through. There's plenty of food here, even though we are running out of bedrooms. Bringing plenty of pets. And unfortunately, we can't slaughter, can we? Stray rabbit pup? Yeah, we can, actually. We'll have to slaughter all of their pets that they brought. I'm trying to keep the animal population low. Keep the frame rate up. That's another reason I want to lock the population. And I am out of name for these dwarves. I don't know what I'm going to name these people. Could be something interesting. Come on, stooges, hurry up. Quit clumping together. Move it, move it. I think that's the last one. Is that an injured ferret kid? No. He's just up there in the sand eating bugs. There's a rabbit digging in the dirt. And Kubuk Boot Blocks, the woodcutter, is going to be the last one across the bridge. I got the hiccups. So let's see. Let's throw the switch then. He should be across by the time the dwarfs get up here to do this. And let's take a look around the fortress too. It has been quite some time since the last update. And even though I haven't assigned the dwarfs a whole bunch to do, they've all been working down here smelting the ore. Our stockpile screen says we have, let's see, we're up to 113 zinc. I might turn that all into bins, heavy bins, and get rid of these light wooden ones. 168 copper. So yeah, we've got plenty of copper. Our copper industry is booming, but no iron, no steel, nothing else any fancier than copper, unfortunately. Okay, military, stand down. Good drill, good hustle, everyone. Hopefully by this time next year... Did that bird fly across? Awesome, I think it did. Hopefully by this time next year, though, we'll have contact to the outside world all year round. We're going to start cleaning this place up out here. Building some buildings out there, I think. I do got a few plans for us. It is 28th slate, mid-spring. We've got a new batch of migrants, and I'm going to let the dwarfs just continue to dig things out and to smelt down the ore. Nothing too exciting. Well, got a little bit of combat going on. Shatari, she's standing down here. Well, down here in the farming area. Just unloading her bow right here. Let's see. Shatari rasp fence. I guess you were busy cooking or something when you saw the beast up there and you just started shooting it with your bow. It's just standing there. You're pumping it full of arrows. Pincher's broken, pincher smashed. Its right fourth leg is broken. You may actually slay the beast on your own here. It is Shaj Zutshosh Avuz, that forgotten beast that arrived. King Goru is still stomping around there somewhere. A ligament's been torn. The flying marble bolt strikes it in the leg. Strikes it in the first leg, tearing through the fat. A ligament's been torn. Maybe you'll get lucky and perforate its brain or something. Ah, there it goes, finally stepping away, looking like a mangled pin cushion. It tried to block as many of the bolts as it could with its pinchers and legs to protect itself. It might have paid the price for it. We'll see if its wounds actually punish it further on down the road. There are some drastic changes with the military. Yeah, look at that. Heavy expansion of the military squads. Let's get a closer look at actually who is in the squads. We've got the Boats of Kissing over there. The Gilded Flags, of course. Long-time Archer squad now, led by iStock for Cash. The Voices of Creation, our Urist squad. The Touches of Mining, led by Mean Melter. The Walls of Order, led by Hippoman. The Barricaded Orders, led by Nighthawk, and that has Wedge, Thumb, York, Billy the Kid, and ED-209. Kind of an NPC squad there. The Cradled Bolts, led by Ferret Fiend, then Dowd Pride, then Mr. Insane, Lock Cole, and Erelisi are in there. The Present Axes is led by Tilla, then Variax, then Salty Nuts, Kinchan, and Peaton. The Arches of Shooting is an Archer squad, led by Z Hall, then Axion, Rob Staley, Z Lunatic, and Zarteam. The Armored Crescents is Daedric Dwarf, Lee James, Juju Dog, Infidel, and Sabin. And the 10 Inks is J7, Master Fancy Pants, Bagwam, Sergeant Shima, and Mr. Phaserbeam. And let's see, a couple of these squads are actually Archer squads. The Present Axes is an Archer squad. The Arches of Shooting is an Archer squad. So those are our two pure Archer squads. And we'll be keeping our eye on them to ensure that they keep up their training. I did screw with the schedules as well. Everyone trains for a month and then has a month off. Every squad. Even our most veteran squads. Everyone deserves a little bit of time off now. I'm going to try to let the dwarfs cycle in and out of the civilian workforce, relax a little bit, rest a little bit, make friends, maybe get married, have kids. take things a little bit slower in the fortress than we have been. Let's see. Got all of these archer squads set up. Make each one of these an archer range. I'm fairly certain that's how you have to do it. You have to set up each individual archer target. And we'll say every squad can train in here at each one of these. And we're also going to, after this, go through the manager and start getting suits of copper made. Because I want all of our dwarves to be as armored as possible for the coming battles. This drawbridge is going down in another year or so. Whether we're prepared or not, we're going to maintain contact with the outside world. Start cleaning up all that gear out there, all those body parts. There's armor out there, there's exploded caravans, there's so many goods, trade goods that we need to get. I also want to tear down this crappy road and redo it with something a little bit more, I don't know, flavorful than schist. Got a bunch of camels stomping on through. Let's see. Still got all this sand to dig out. Just doing it one row at a time. I don't want to dig out any of the stone. And that's kind of my biggest worry right now, as ridiculous as that is. Not worried about crushing the dwarfs in cave-ins, as long as we go nice and slow. Even though I am worried about them being trapped down here on the flat and having no way to climb back up and inside. Because they've got to go down a sharp passageway here. We had to break through a hole in the wall here and make a little narrow crevice for them to slither on down through. That way they can get to the outside of the mountain now. And you've created a masterpiece. Let's see, what's our stocks? How many bars do we got? Lead, zinc, we got plenty of zinc of course, plenty of copper of course. So let's get some of this copper armor made. We'll press J and then M to go into the manager and Q for a new work order. And let's see, type in copper, copper breast, forge copper breastplate. We need a lot of these. Quantity, let's pump out 20 of those if possible. And then copper greaves, let's pump out 20 of those. Let's see, how about copper gauntlets? Yeah, we'll pop out, well, we need a lot of these. Let's say 40 of those. We probably don't have enough copper bars on hand, so I may have to actually get our miners to start digging out some of the veins as well. Copper high boots. We're going to need 40 of those. And, you know what? Copper one-horned helm. Copper 1. Yep, there we go. And let's get 20 horned helms. So, there we go. It is 6th Fell Site, 1082, late spring. Just focusing on industry, focusing on getting all the sand cleared out, and focusing on getting our military squads trained. Urist McIonized, you've grown attached to a dogbone crossbow. So we'll come back whenever something grabs our attention. Oh yeah, one last little quick thing that I need to squeeze in here. On these archery targets, we also have to change the direction that they shoot from. We're going to set it to shoot from the top to the bottom. So it'll shoot from the top of the screen towards the bottom of the screen. And you switch that by WASD. So if we press the S key, that switches it to make them shoot from top to bottom. The W key would be from bottom to top. I think that this is right. If I find them shooting on the wrong side, I'll switch it around. But yeah, whenever you're setting up archery targets, also make sure you set up each individual one. Make sure you give the correct direction for them to shoot from. They can't really stand right here between this archery target and this one in practice. And it's also that time of year again. There's a whole bunch of chaos going on outside. I really wasn't going to cover it because it's mostly just kobolds ambushing everything, but another vile force of darkness has arrived. And this time it is something a little bit more dangerous, it looks like. It's not werewolves. It's lizard folk. And this one is riding a giant cave swallow. The leader is. There's one group there of lizard folk to the east. I don't see any along that edge. I don't see any along that edge. I don't see any there, so just one little group of ambushers right here. Or siegers, at least. I think with that cave swallow, he can actually fly into our fortress, if I'm not mistaken. He'll have to leave his buddies behind and charge in solo, so we'll hopefully quickly slaughter him, if he attempts it. Well, let's see, we've got that group there, and we've got all of these kobolds somewhere over here. Yeah, they're scattered all over the screen. They're chasing some Sylvan Elf merchants that arrived. They already slaughtered one, and they slaughtered a whole bunch of Illithids as well. Every single kobold has a crossbow or a bow. A bowman. A kobold spearman there. Another bowman. It was just a wall of arrows every time they would kick up an Illithid ambush or something. Or a barget or a goblin ambush. Wham, wham, wham. Look at all those arrows just flying through. That poor horse. It's just getting chewed and nommed on by the kobold. Run, elves, run. Yeah, the elves are probably going to hate us after this. And they'll be the next ones to siege us. So good, as soon as we're getting ready to, open up to the world, all the fun starting. There's a little Illithid ambush waiting to just pop out and attack us. And you can see our archer targets are being used. Urist McIonized is there. He's got, let's see, copper high boots on, dog iron, a dog bone crossbow. So our archers are training, hopefully to be able to return fire to their archers whenever they attack us. It is 20th Fellsite 1081, and we're locked inside while the siege continues outside. A yearly occurrence. Well, it looks like we've got another baby born into the fortress here. Revocane, you've given birth to a baby boy on 12th Hematite 1082. Here it is. Ushwir Clasp Markets. And let's see its relationships. Revocane, you are the mother. Thomas Merrick, you're the father. And Thomas Kane is the older brother. The baby is also fairly religious. He worships 3 deities, Ugash, Arist, and Dolek. And he's a moss dwarf. A calm demeanor, comfortable, and it is said that moss dwarfs can live anywhere. He was born today, which makes him very young indeed. He already has very long mustache, so he's got a nice mustache, right fresh out of the womb, long sideburns that are clean shaven, still, I guess, matted with fresh placenta. His very long beard is braided and dripping with goo. And I think we're going to name him Merrick Kane. Because Thomas Merrick and Revocane, you made Thomas Kane, so Merrick Kane is the next logical step. Merrick Kane, baby. And if you live to see childhood, we'll drop the baby abbreviation from your name, and maybe see what happens to you in the future. We still have the siege going on outside. They're just floating around over there on the edge of the map. Their leader is flying up in the air just one tile off the ground, probably to get a better view of the area. They haven't tried to fly into the fortress yet. And I'm kind of thinking about putting the bridge down and seeing if they'll charge after us. I know that if they clash with our military, we will have heavy losses. They're well equipped. They're siegers. They're not werewolves. They're not piddly little kobolds or illithid ambushers. These are highly trained soldiers. And they've got gear on too, I believe. Copper pike, cobalt helm. I guess they can't wear body armor, but they've got helms and pikes on and stuff like that, so they'll be able to rip through our dwarves and won't be able to chop their heads clean off. We've got Tilla the Fourth there, Rocks Match. Talented Mason, a dabbling Marks dwarf. Shooting at the target. That one's far to the side. That one's same spot. That one just narrowly misses. Here comes an adequate Marks dwarf, Jeff Major. He steps up to target practice and he fires quickly. Wham! One shot, far to the side, and he decides he needs to go grab a new batch of arrows. That one connected dead center. And you're pleased, so you take off, maybe to grab some more arrows. And I am hollowing out these little, I guess, passageways down here in the magma sea. I'm going to turn these little areas, let's see, like these little rooms that just jut off out of nowhere. I think these are going to be tombs for brave warriors. I'm going to start going through some of the soldiers who've got more than like 5 kills. Anyone who's got a name or a title may get their own tomb down here by the depths of hell. And Glenn, you've grown attached to a cobalt shield. Congratulations. Hopefully it saves your life. We'll find out soon enough, I imagine. It is 15th Hematite, 1082, early summer. Population 117. And, we're just going to ignore the siegers outside for now. Continue focusing on industry and relationships. Well, here's a small update. We have a little artifact made by Sabin Figueroa here. He has created Lemul Nesteth, a cave spider silk rope. And let's take a closer look at that. It's called the Golden Silks, valued at 78,800 dwarf bucks. Wow. You put a lot of effort into this. This is a cave spider silk rope. All crafts dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with cave spider silk, arachna silk, and fungi wood, and encircled with bands of microline and andesite. It is made from cave spider silk cloth. This object menaces with spikes of andesite. On the item is an image of Zepp-laced, whiskered clenched, the keeper, and camels in yellow saspertine. Zepp-laced is surrounded by the camels. The artwork relates to the taming of the camels of the humid desert by the keeper Zepp-lace in the mid-autumn of 526 during the journey of the keeper. On the item is an image of Shund oil scar the keeper, and sand lions and microlined. Shund oil scar is surrounded by the sand lions. This also relates to his taming of the sand lions in the humid desert in the year 543 on his journey. And there's also an image of Zulbane grasping shot, the obsidian dwarf and dwarfs in yellow zircon. Zulbane is surrounded by the dwarfs. The artwork relates to the ascension of the obsidian dwarf Zulbane grasping shot to the position of king of the trade of nuts in 983. I don't know, I think I've seen his name in some of our previous artifacts. It's actually been about 2 weeks since I last played the game, so the next few updates that come, they're probably going to be few and far between. I'm just letting the dwarfs, I guess, slowly work and hammer things out. I'm not going to be updating every time a dwarf raises his hand and does something for a while. It is 2nd Malachite, 1082 Midsummer, and like I said, I'm letting the fortress go into overdrive mode here, and we're going to power through the next year or two and try to get this fortress, I guess, a little bit better prepared for the outside world. I want this drawbridge down. I want a full-time connection to the outside world, and gods be damned, either we live or we die. Either we fight off the invaders and hold down this fortress, hold down this volcano, or we die in the process. But I am going to give the dwarves a year or two of solitary confinement inside the volcano here to finish it up and get ready. There's Alchemia the Fourth. You're a decent Marks dwarf. You're an adequate Marks dwarf, and you're training right alongside Tilla there, who is a novice archer and a novice Marks dwarf. So train hard, dwarfs. You're gonna need all the training you can get. Good job, Joe. Created one hell of a masterpiece. Okay, well, there's about ready to be a huge, massive, cave-in that I'm doing. This entire ledge here, I accidentally left it, and, I mined out the floor beneath it. So I need to get rid of this and drop it so that it's just open space like the rest of the mountain above and below it will be. I've got this side channeled out and this side channeled out, so the only piece of stone holding all of this stone on here is, oh wow, you had to do that. That's what you get. I don't know who that is, but they're dead. It's calculating the collapse right now. And that little person is going to ride it all the way down. I had a wall there suspended. I was hoping that they wouldn't stand there to channel that out, but it looks like they're going to. Oh boy. Just give it a moment. I don't even know if Fraps can record whenever this is locked up like this. We'll find out. Anybody want to take bets on who's riding that down? Is it Thomas Kane, baby? Is it Jufidel? Is it Infidel Dog? Well, One of the children are dead. There it goes, and it collapses in. So, anybody nearby? No, not picking up anyone. Somebody's gonna die though. Let's see. A section of the cavern has collapsed. We'll unpause it. And there they are. It's Thomas Kane, baby. He's stunned, winded, bruised, and crushed in his guts. But he's alive. Thomas Kane is fighting. He's caught in the cloud of boiling magma and the burst of sand. Shatters his bones, bruises his guts. Well, someone had to take one for the team, and that little runt there did it. So good job to you. You still have a small chance of growing up and surviving. Yay, downward slopes. This is ridiculous that those are still floating there. If those are there forever, I'm gonna cry. They better fucking disappear. Besides that little cave-in catastrophe there, still chiseling away parts of the mountain here. Let's remove this sand. Doing huge chunks at a time now. On the edges where I can. We'll get this mined out and shaped hopefully in another few years. It is 9th limestone, 1082 early autumn. And it's peaceful. There's a couple ambushes outside. There was a huge ambush spiral earlier with kobolds and lizard folk fighting each other. I didn't record it because it's pretty normal now actually. Every couple of seasons, a whole bunch of ambushes will spring, illithids and snake men and kobolds, and they'll battle it out until there's nobody left standing. Yay, we'll be dealing with that soon enough ourselves whenever our military goes out there and starts making the rounds and patrolling. So I'm just going to let the dwarfs get back to working, hammering things out. Hopefully we don't have to cave anything else in. Anything else. Yeah. Thanks, Thomas Kane. Well, I thought this was going to be just another normal, boring siege outside whenever the vile force of darkness, warning arrived. But it's really not. It's a bunch of lizard folk riding giant cave swallows. Now, I believe that means they can path and fly into our fortress. Last time they sieged us, only their leader was on a cave swallow, and he never did anything except get killed by some illithids, I think. We also have Nish Ishlam on the side of the map over here. Where'd they go? Our diplomat is there, dead. He was killed by an ambush of illithids right here. They arrived pretty much the same time he did. And there's the traders. It is 14th Timber, late autumn, 1082. I'm just going to unpause it and see if these guys start flying inside. If they do, we will scramble the military. It's kind of skipping for a second. I think they're thinking maybe pathing in, deciding how they're best going to path into our base here. There are, looks like 3 or 4 groups of cave swallows. There's another group up in the top corner. Be really worried whenever I see them flying. There's one flying through the air. Somebody's fighting. The Mind Flayer outpost and the donkey. So the traders are being ambushed over there. People are being shot here. Somebody was being shot. The Swords Dwarf is being shot. Okay, I saw a whole bunch. Yeah, there goes some arrows flying. Where are they going? Are they shooting at my miners up here? Yep, they are actually. No one go down over the edge or you're liable to be pegged by an arrow here. I guess that'll be good practice for our doctors if somebody catches a cobalt arrow through the lung or something. We'll just remove this level and then, yeah, we'll forget about mining outside for the time being. They're all archers, aren't they? Oh, the cave swallows are slowly moving in that way. Some illithids are cunningly trying to wait in ambush. And you know, I do have to go get these dead dwarf bodies at some point. I don't know if I can describe tablets for all of them. There's another cave swallow group. Maybe they were just going after the miners over here. Well, those ones are moving forward. Let's see. How far are they going to go? Are they going to fly up the side of the mountain, perhaps? If they make it to the edge, right, if they come to right here, maybe they're just chasing that illithid right there. They want to dine on some illithid blood. Those cave swallows are staying put. Those cave swallows are staying put. And these ones are the only ones showing any signs of scouting around looking for a weak point they can abuse. It's got me worried. I'm pretty sure we could take them. The only question is I don't know how many losses we would sustain while fighting them. And the dwarfs have been rather peaceful for quite some time. I've been letting them mingle. So I'm sure that their Metal Slime Hunt is fighting. The flying copper crescent arrow strikes Metal Slime Hunt in the left upper arm. It fractures the bone, and many nerves have been severed. And Firestar. Let's see, you caught an arrow too. The flying cobalt arrow strikes you in the lower body, tearing through the fat. So 2 arrows for you too. Wonderful, 1 each. Congratulations, you have battle scars now, provided you don't bleed out. There's Kefka. Anybody still down here that's actually caught an arrow? Or they all ran to the hospital. Let's see, who do we have in the hospital here? We have Lord British. He's getting ready to diagnose a patient. There's Metal Slime Hunt. He's sleeping peacefully in the bed with the arrow jutting out of his arm there. There's Firestar, unconscious as well. Sedated from the pain. He's got an arrow sticking out of his lower body. Health, no health problems yet. Diagnosis required. Well, at least you two won't die. We can let our doctors do a little bit of work here. They've been training all year round as well. Back in these 2 medical training facilities we've got Flame of Dark there. He's training surgery, and there's Griffin God the Fourth, who is training bone setting. We might need the surgeon soon. The chief medical dwarf is doing the rounds somewhere, no doubt. I really need to set a whole medical team to a barracks here. Make this just their personal barracks, and assign like maybe 4 people plus the chief medical dwarf, so that they can never leave this place. They'll get their food here, they'll get their water here, they'll sleep and live here. That might be something I need to do. This fortress is far from done, provided we don't get completely demolished by a siege or something. Where are those cave swallows at? Holy crap. I'm scared now. They're flying through the air, right there. Scary bastards. I think they're just gonna go meet up. No, they're gonna ambush our merchants there. And Lockman, you've given birth to a boy. Let's see, where's that at? Right here. Moldat breath clasps. The dwarven baby. Who's your family? Lord Blackthorn and Lockman. Yeah. I'm not at, well, Lockman, I think you're actually, yeah, you're a real person, sorry. I was wondering, I thought Lockman was maybe an NPC name I added, but it's not, so let's see. I wasn't going to give it a name if it was 2 NPC parents. We'd turn that baby into somebody else. Let's see, Lockthorn, Lock Black, Lord Blackman, Lord Lockthorn. I think Lord Lockthorn will be the name of your baby. There we go. Lord Lockthorn, baby. And if you survive, you'll become a child, and then you'll become a military recruit. If you live that long, it's quite a long time to live. Ooh, and another siege has arrived, another vile force of darkness. It's the werewolves this time. Wow, they got 3 squads to the north. Is that where they charged from? 1 squad there to the southeast. And so that's their 4 squads. Cave swallows are just standing there with Ravad Hazeworks, a ghostly wrestler. Ravad is standing out there. I need to engrave a tablet then for Rod. Let's see. Come here, I think it's at the craft shop. Yeah. Engrave memorial slab for some poor dwarf bastard named Ravad. Oh, I bet you there's 50 Ravads in here. Where you at, Ravad? And then we'll have to place it so that he can rest eternally, or we'll have to send a military group out there to reclaim his body. Hitching is quite serious. It's actually something that we might lose the fortress trying to correct. Do not deter. I would send my military squads charging out the gate to get those bodies. Olin, Destat. No. Where are you at, Ravad? We don't have a Ravad on the list. Positive I didn't pass it up. Well, Swords Dwarf Ming is in a martial trance over here. He is just flailing around, chopping illithids to bits. They've latched onto his left lower arm and his left foot. And it's the dust. He breathes it in, chops one of them down. They pile on top and begin dusting his face directly. No, they don't. Actually, he's with them. He's a traitorous dwarf bastard. Well, who's he fighting then? No idea. You betraying orc bastard. He was with their ranks all along. Or was he? Who the hell is fighting now? Outpost, Mind Flayer, Orc Wrestler. I actually think they're just being pummeled by their own powder. No, the dwarf is killing them. Now I'm just confused. The Swords Dwarf, there he is. Swords Dwarf stabs the Orc Wrestler in the head, tearing apart the muscle and shattering the skull, tearing apart the brain. Nice. He charges after that illithid, and he does track him down, so good. I take back what I said. I apologize. You're not a traitorous dwarf bastard. Did anyone else from your party survive? Oh man, look at all those werewolves just waiting. Do not go fight them, Ravad, whatever your name is. Ming, clasp letter, the glade of running. A badass dwarf if there ever was one. There's the merchants. There's merchants down there. You know what, guys? No, I can't put the bridge down. I can't. There's too many out there. We'll all die. There's a siege, 3 or 4 sieges of cave swallow riding lizardmen. And I know they've got arrows and pikes and swords and years and decades of training. And then the bloodthirsty werewolves to the north there. Look at their numbers. That's almost as many dwarfs as we've got in the fortress. I mean, it would be one hell of a fight. It'd be an epic battle for all dwarven ages throughout history to speak and tell legends about. But no, we're not going to do it yet. And of course our merchants get ambushed there and completely murderized. Something just got ripped and thrown to the sand. Aerith's right upper back tooth. They're torturing him for information. Wanted to know the trade route he took, the way back to his mountain homes. The number of people he's seen on his journey. They'll make him talk before they kill him. And let's see, is that our buddy there? No, that's a new dwarf. Eshtan Shady Hatchets. He charges forward after the illithid. The illithid deftly dodges to the side. The dwarf hacks him to bits. And what was that? Look at all of those cave swallow men there. Good luck, dwarves. Hopefully Nish Ishlam has more merchants and diplomats they can send us. Dwarf chops that illithid down. The rest of its squad scatter away in fear. And they open up fire. Look at all those crossbows. Holy shit, crescent arrows rip through the air, whiz and smack into the sand. The donkey catches 3. He drops. The dwarf was going to seek cover behind him for a moment, but thought better about it. He's been struck in the lower body. One's glanced off his head. His left lower arm, right lower leg, left lower leg. His lower spine's been nicked. He's basically just crawling through the sand now, kicking with one leg, dragging with his other hand. Eshtan there, he sees the wall of arrows flying towards him. And a werewolf and donkey fighting. They were screwed no matter where they went down there. They were going to run directly into that werewolf group, or into that group that they did run into. Get out of here, merchants. Flee with your life while you still can. He gave his, it looks like. Lizard folk bowman is fighting. The flying arrow strikes the donkey, The axe dwarf is fighting. He's been knocked unconscious, an arrow directly through the skull. It tears apart his brain, and he dropped down never to stand up again. Run. Tell the mountain homes we're sealed off for the next few years. If you hear us screaming from the mountain, don't come back. I don't think the cave swallows are gonna fly inside. If they do, I'll return. There's 24 volunteers, training with his bow, doing a little bit of archery practice for the dark days ahead. Holy shit. And we just got ambushed on the side of the mountain. I guess I won't be going anywhere. Let's see, A, B, C. Everyone come station yourself right there. 3 squads, we'll send them down there. Dion's down there. He was already down there mining out the mountain. Let's see, Dion, I think you're in a military squad. Let's find out which one activated. There's the squad of Urists. Hippie Capo, Wedge, no. Dowd Pride, nope. See a whole bunch of stuff. Daedric Dwarf. Maybe you're not in a squad, Dion. No, you're not. You should be, but you're not. Oh, do not dodge over the edge. If you dodge over the edge, there's not a damn thing we can do to save you. Just stay up there on the edge. The Salamander's fighting. Polarbeard is fighting. Polarbeard, why are you fighting way out here? I'm just curious. Were you flying through the air by chance? There's a cave swallow. Maybe you were just taking a shot at him. Unconscious? Yeah, you shot the hell out of that one. Out of that salamander person. Let's see. The flying schist bolt strikes the giant cave swallow in the left lower leg, chipping the bone. Then the beast flew and crashed into the ground. Looks like you're the only one who returned fire on it. Was it through a window or something over here? Maybe. There's Erolisi watching a dodging demonstration. More fighting. Hope Dion's okay. Our buddy Ming over here is fighting. He's chopping down that elf. He slices the elf down, does a flip off of his body, and takes charge after the Illithid bastard's there. He goes into a martial rage. He cuts that one's arm off. It turns around screaming, losing blood as it runs. You're not getting away that easy. I think his buddy maybe for half a second thought about helping him and said, know what? I don't think so. Well, good job, man. You saved your life. Spilt some more blood in battle. Werewolves are still holding up there. You know what, Dion? Where are you at? I keep forgetting about you. Raoul, you're fighting on the edge of the mountain there. Maybe just arrows? God damn it, are we gonna have people dodge off? Raoul bats the flying arrow out of the air. He just flicks it down to the ground like it didn't even matter. It was so slow in his eyes. Okay, are you still out down here on the flat, Dion? Well, damn it. Our troops are down there. I didn't get a kill message, I don't think. There is something's body part. Large roach remains, okay. Let's go, there's Dion, no job. He was the one being chased. He's on the edge of the mountain there. I don't see an Illithid anywhere. This is bad. One stray rogue Illithid running somewhere. We'll unpause it. Wait for more combat. There we go. Salamander's fighting. It vomits. Oh. That's not really combat if it's just retching its guts out. Axion and Z-Lunatic, you're both fighting, well, sparring with each other. Working on those combat skills. This squad bay is getting a whole bunch of use these days. Somebody's really injured. Dowd Pride. You're unhappy. Your right hand is injured. There's Sabin. Island Lashes. Setting on a barrel, telling a story. No one seems to be too concerned about the chaos outside. Werewolves are moving from the southeast. Where are they going? Is everyone getting ready to converge on Ming here? Just waiting on the edge of the map, waiting for his day. Yeah, there's nothing we can do for him. I can't charge out there. It'd be a death sentence for anyone we send at this time. I thought about removing this wall here and seeing if he would run inside, but he won't because there's nothing to trade. Rovad Misdusum, the ghostly wrestler, has risen. Great, another ghost. He is down here in the barracks, I think. Or he was whenever he rose from the dead. Looks like all the Urists are down here right now. There's Cappy, Wedge, Thomyorg, Billy the Kid's down there. Urist McUnicorn's down there. Okay. Well, I'm gonna save it, and I am gonna take a break, and, if the hitching starts, or if we actually get attacked by these things, I'll come back then. If the hitching starts, I'm gonna have to put the drawbridge down, and we're gonna have to scramble the military out there. Worst comes to worst, we lose everything, and that'll be the end of Shovecopper. But, it's 28th Timber, 1082, late autumn, population of 118, and we'll find out what happens when we get back.